going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. You're watching Original Art Hour. This is the show where we sit down with other original comic art collectors, take a little bit of a look at their collection, look at some artwork, tell some stories, and just have a good time talking about the art side of the comic book collecting hobby that we love so much. And joining me today for the 37th episode of the original show is my friend Mark, aka Aznfunk Comics, who's doing like a promo. I don't know if I timed that correctly or not, but I think who cares? We're having fun. We're having a good time. This is an early show. This is the early bird special. Probably the earliest show I've ever done on my channel. But hey, it's first time. Let's see how it goes. If you're not around at 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific, it's always available on the Rewind, of course. But I'm just happy to have Mark on, Aznfunk Comics. Great YouTube channel, link in the description below. Instagram in the description below. This guy is a prolific creator, or at least was a prolific creator.
Oh, wow. Yeah, okay. I'm taking a little break, okay? Taking a little break.
I mean, dude, you're talking to the guy who takes the longest breaks in the history of the YouTube comic community as far as making content. So anybody can sort of jump over the bar that I set for being prolific. But hilarious. I think you're one of my favorite YouTubers to watch just because you're funny. I think your content is funny. You're a funny guy. You also have, the ability to get, seemingly the ability to get a lot of creators on your channel that you've interviewed. So I think your channel adds a lot of value to the community. And if you're into like interviews with artists and creators within the comic book space, go check out his channel. You've got plenty of that content up. But anyway, that's my quick intro for you. Do you want to do a quick intro for yourself? We're going to say hi to the chat in a second, but then we'll get started.
Yeah. No, that was a great intro. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem.
I've been super honored to be here. I don't make a lot of appearances on other people's shows, but I knew that once I got the invite to be on one of your shows, I knew I wanted.
What are the other shows that I have? Oh, well, maybe I guess I kind of have other shows.
Yeah, I get tons of invites, but I like to pick them.
There you go.
No, yeah, super honored to be here. Original art, something I haven't really done a video on. You've seen stuff on my Instagram, but it's really something I haven't really touched on a lot. So I'm really excited to kind of show people, some of my. Right,
because this is like a newer territory for you as far as what you collect, right?
Absolutely, yeah. This is definitely a new hobby, and I blame you for kind of getting me interested in it, and really just having interesting tidbits about the pages you collect. So I was like, you know what, I should probably look into this. And it's a hobby that I never even knew was a thing until like a few years ago. So I definitely dove into it, and it's just like the community of art collectors is like really cool and diverse and just really awesome.
All right, well, we're glad to have you, and it's going to be fun both doing the show and having you part of the chat and all that support to it. Before we gotta blame Kavi, and there we go. Let's see. We're going to go back and just start at the beginning. D-Runk was here, of course. He's threatening that you should have morph away. I don't remember if you have, but you got plenty of accent, though. I can certainly attest to it. Let's see. For some reason, I can't get rid of D-Runk's comment.
Censored.
Because StreamYard's messing up, and now I'm highlighting a Yard comment. But anyway, we had John's Comics with Kids in here. Good to see you, John. We had Simon R. as well. What's up, Simon R.? We got Jeff Wedding. I did find the intro clip, Jeff. So the intro clip is available to me if I so feel like playing. Or not, but I'm getting a serious delay on comments when I click on them. Like, it's just not taking. So there he is, Ronald Shepard. We got Marcus Y. What's up, Marcus? We got Comics by the Bay in the house. We got Sleepy Reader 666. I think my connection is kind of going in and out. It says my connection is unstable. Boo.
I'm glad it's you and not me, because I was like, why am I
I know, right? You were frozen earlier backstage, but we got Sam I Am Comics. What's up, Sam? He does have a great channel, NIG. We got Black Swamp Comics. What's up? Who else is in here? We got Geeks and Drinks. Steve saying he's gonna pop in real quick, but watch the replay. No worries, bro. We got JoJo, Flicks and Comics. Good to see you, JoJo. Hey, Joe. Yeah, I guess I was. It must be my connection. Sorry, guys. Not sure what the end result is gonna be. It says my connection's good now, though. So hopefully no more drama. But yes, I would appreciate anybody hitting that thumbs up. So why don't we dive right in, man? You have sent me a ton of art for us to look at. So we're gonna try to go as quickly as we can and share some of this art. I brought only a couple pieces that are related to sort of what you brought to the show, and I'll share those like in the middle of the show maybe or something like that. But let's start with your stuff. And this is in the order that I showed you in advance before what the order was going to be, but I'm sure you'll have your own stuff to say. And this is the first piece that you wanted to share on the slide. So
this is absolutely. This is, I think, one of my favorite art pages, and probably one of the ones that I would rescue in a fire. This is the one I would save. Mainly because I am a huge Morph fan. And for those of you who don't know who Morph is.
Right off the bat, I forgot that was the first piece. Great.
Yep. And so to
be honest, I was just cranking out slides without even looking at what the art was. Like,
I should have probably put this in some order. I just gave you a ton of stuff. So
no worries.
Yeah, no, I mean, this it's really funny because this was this is by an artist by the name of Andrew Wildman. And he's a pretty famous UK artist, and this is from X-Men Adventures, which is a comic run based on the animated show, which is based on the comic. So it's kind of one of those weird Inception kind of things where it's 3 levels deep. But anyway, Andrew Wildman was having a sale on his website, and I was like, oh, cool. I never see pages from him. And I didn't really know the significance of this page. I just liked it because Morph was in it. What I did not realize is that this is the first comic book appearance of Morph.
Is it really?
And it is, of this iteration of Morph. So Morph is actually a made-up character from the animated show. But he's based off of a character named Changeling, who is from an X-Men comic, but they changed his name because Changeling is actually the name of a DC character as well. So there was kind of like some copyright issues. So Changeling in the DC universe became Beast Boy. So that's a little tidbit for you. But anyway, long story short, I didn't realize that this page is a first appearance of one of my favorite characters. And so I was super excited to get it accidentally. And now this is one of this will stay with me forever. Couldn't offer me enough money. Okay, maybe a ton of money, but otherwise this is staying with me. So
it couldn't offer me enough. Okay, but maybe a ton.
I mean, look, everything has a price. Everything has a price, all right?
Everything definitely has a price. All right, well, that's cool. I had no context over why you wanted that one to be first. Now it all makes complete sense.
You were like, what is this garbage page, right? Like, oh no.
That wasn't I didn't think that at all. I was just like, I wonder why this one's first, But now it makes
no reason.
Makes a ton of sense. What's up? Crystal Glitter and Duct Tape is in the house. Good to see you. Thank you for popping by the show. All right, let's move on, man. We're gonna if we go at this pace, it'll be 2 hours. But
we'll speed up. All right, this one. Okay, so again, this is another page from Andrew. I obviously am a fan of his, but I bought this page because it's very meta, and it's kind of like from a holiday special. Like, so they're basically advertising other Marvel products in this. I'm sure this is probably like a little 10-page like holiday booklet or something to that effect. Anyway, I just really love this page because you can see like Wolverine wearing a tie with Spider-Man on it, and then you can see like Multiple Man wearing a sweater of Wolverine.
I mean, I even have that in the close-up, but I didn't notice it until you pointed it out.
Yeah, no, it's seriously, it's like one of those things where if you think about it, you're like, oh, this is hilarious. And I love pages that are kind of like really funny if you really look at it. And so it's just really cool that, like to see Marvel characters be fans of other characters. It's really meta. Sure. And then like you can kind of see at the lower 3 panels where you can see like they're promoting like the action figure, like the I think it's the 12-inch Toy Biz toys. And then like you have like the 92 Marvel Masterpiece cards. Like it's just hilarious to see Marvel characters promoting other Marvel products. Right? That's why I bought this page. So
cool. All right, before we move on to the next one, there was a question or two, or there was some new people. We got ME Comics. What's up, ME? And then Marcus was just curious, what's your, like, why do you love Morph so much? Like, what's the, what's your connection?
Yeah, great question. I think I like the idea that he can become different people depending on the situation. And so me being like a nervous introvert, I like to be able to like, be someone else so I don't have to be myself. And so I kind of I relate to the idea that he can change depending on the situation. So that's kind of why I like shapeshifters, obviously, Mystique, Morph.
I've heard you describe yourself as a introvert before, but I'm like, I just don't like, but you come off as so like personable and funny and humorous when you're on your channel. It's like, but I get it. Like I'm like I come off like a host, quote unquote, on my channel, but you're not going to, I'm not going to act like that in just like a low key setting among friends or whatever, it's just different.
You'll notice I never do any live shows on my channel because I like.
That's true. You don't do live content. It's all pre-recorded and edited for the most part.
Yep.
Yeah. Good call. All right, let's move on. This is the third piece and a badass one.
Yeah. So this one's really cool because I actually there are some pages that you'll just buy because it's awesome, right? Not because you know the story or necessarily like the context, but you're just like, this is an amazing splash page of like a weird looking Wolverine, right? Like I really like the horror vibe. And, the thing I like about original art collecting is that you'll see a page you really like, and then it'll make you want to go and read the story that it's from, And so like I learned that this is actually like a clone of Wolverine, which is why you'll notice his claws are coming out of his wrists and not his hand.
Right. It is slightly weird. Yeah.
Very different, very odd, but it's subtle. Weird bone claws. But yeah, and then also like I was like, who the heck did he stab, right? Like at first I was like, is that Cyclops? Is that some random guy? No, it's Gambit.
Oh, it's Gambit. Okay.
Yeah. And then that's Kitty Pryde over there, who's like, oh no, but anyway, yeah, this is one of those pages where you're just like, you bought it for like the wow factor. And anytime you see a splash page of Wolverine, like you got to really consider if you want to go for it, or else it's gonna get snatched up. So yep.
Yeah, no, I think it's a really cool page, man. So congrats on that one.
Thank you.
Who was the artist again? I don't remember. Did you mention that? Or
sorry. So the penciler is Mike Grell, and then the
Mike Grell.
Yeah, and then the inker is Mark Nelson. So it's you can see it at the very top.
Cool.
So it's nice when the artists actually sign their names on it, because then you can easily see who it is, because you kind of forget over time.
Marcus is saying it's Morph disguised as Gambit, which
I love.
You never know. You never know.
I love that.
What's up, Biggie Shack in the house? Good to see you, Biggie. All right, let's. I'm just, I'm not even gonna put the camera back on us. I'm just gonna move straight to the next one.
Yes, yeah. So this is from one of my favorite artists, Paulo Rivera. You might have heard of him. He's famous for the One Moment in Time storyline, among other things. But this is really cool because this was penciled by Paulo, but then inked by his dad. And so I really like it when father-son artist duos work on stuff together. And so, again, I'm a fan of shapeshifters, and who was one of the most famous Spider-Man villain shapeshifters ever, Chameleon. And so this is actually a cover for, I think what it was, Avenging Spider-Man 20. So this is part of the whole when Dr. Octopus took over Spider-Man's body. So as you can see why there's some spider webs breaking out Chameleon from jail. But anyway, really love that, you're trying to guess who the different characters are that he's shifting into. Really love characters like that. So again, I had to have this one.
Nice.
Yeah,
Biggie sort of read my mind here, because I was going to make a comment about that trope of like the behind the bars, either covers, or even within the comic storylines, is always can make for a cool art.
Absolutely.
I like that trope, if you want to call it one. All right, let's move on to the next one.
Yes.
Some, dolphin action.
Love this one. So it's really funny, like, when you get into this hobby, you think that like all the coolest pages from all your favorite artists are already taken, right? They're all bought up.
They're all gone, and you can't afford any of them.
Exactly. Yeah, especially that. You're just like, if you find it, it's just unaffordable. And I've been a fan of Ed McGuinness for a long time. I actually remember reading the Superman Batman team up that he did like in the early 2000s, and I was like, oh, I love his art style. Very chunky, very like hard lines. And, you know, when I saw this, I was like, I can't believe this page is still available on this website. You know, like the idea of Namor, you know, the Submariner fighting dolphins with lasers. Like, why? How has someone not bought this yet?
Yeah, this has Aznfunk written all over it, and
exactly,
it's in the right collection. I mean,
yes,
I'm not saying that's not a piece I wouldn't buy. You know what I mean? It is a cool piece, and I don't know the details, you know, what you paid or all that, but it's a cool piece. But I think it does belong in somebody's collection like yours that has like kind of a certain sensibility or, you know, sense of humor about the way you collect. So I think it's cool.
Yeah, you'll see a running theme throughout my collection at some point. So, yeah.
All right. All right. Well, this is a good pace we're at. We're on the sixth piece right here, and we got some Strange and Spidey action I see on the page.
All right. So big significance of this page. This is the very first art page I ever bought, and I bought this after I saw. Actually, okay, I bought this before the first trailer of No Way Home came out. Okay, because I was like, Paulo Rivera, one of my favorite artists, he was selling some of his art pages. Like, oh, I would love to own one of his art pages. And I was like, oh, okay, this is one of the art pages I can afford that looks cool. It has Spidey in there. And I bought this page, and then the trailer dropped, and then all the other pages from this One Moment in Time storyline were gone.
Sold immediately, yeah.
Instantly. And I was like, oh my God, I'm glad I got at least one page. And this is the moment where Peter jumps into a protective sphere that he will be safe while everyone's memory gets wiped. So this is
that sounds familiar.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, just like really cool page, just like straight up lines. I love the way he draws. And yeah, I'm just so happy to own this.
That's dope, dude. All right, we got some more stragglers here. We got Kenneth Bird in the house. Good to see you, man. We got Hobby Halbert. Welcome, Hobby Halbert. We've got Comic Head 84. Kenny.
Oh, shoot.
What's up, Kenny? All right, let's move on. Let's go to the seventh piece here.
Yeah. So normally I tend to buy art pages that are already inked, right? So what that means is it already has like the hard lines. There's no pencils. But I really liked this page from Brad Walker, who is the penciler. And normally he's teamed up with an inker by the name of Andrew Hennessy. But for some reason...
who Ruben represents.
Yes, correct.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. Shout out to his YouTube channel, too.
Yes, Ruben's on the road today. Otherwise, he would be in the chat appreciating your collection.
Excuses.
I know. He's going to catch it on rewind.
But so the funny thing about this is that Andrew inked this entire run of Heroes for Hire for Brad, but for some reason, this is the only page that was not inked by him. And so I was like, okay, well, I really like this page, so I got it. And then I told Brad about it. I said, hey, is there a reason, would you ink this page? You know, like as much as I love your pencils, you know, obviously having an ink looks even better. And he was like, you know what? Why don't I put you in touch with Andrew and he can maybe ink it for you? And I was like, that would be perfect. And a couple weeks later, I was able to get it inked by Andrew, and now it is inked and it looks amazing. So
nice. So did he just make a copy on another artboard in Blue Line or something? I mean,
no,
or did he lightbox it?
I sent him the original penciled page.
Oh, so you sent him the original, and you had him. So you had him ink the actual. So it's all on one board, and this is just two scans.
Yes.
Got it.
Yep. So this
really
is the
cool.
before and after, which is usually sometimes you'll get the pencils on one page and the inks on another, like you just mentioned, or sometimes
like Ryan Stegman. A lot of his stuff is like that. Yeah,
that's right. So yeah, really kind of just a good story and just a really awesome action Spidey page.
Awesome, man. Nice work. Nice work to the actual artist involved.
Yeah.
Also nice work on your part.
I take no credit in the actual inking of this page.
Right. All right, here's your next one.
Oh man. All right. So who doesn't want to own an awesome Nightcrawler kicking some butt page, right? Like, it's really hard to get Nightcrawler teleporting and kicking some X-Men butt in one page. Very difficult. And I saw this page and I was like, I gotta have it. But what's really funny, so let's see, the penciler is David Lopez, inked by Alvaro Lopez. Not sure if they're siblings, but
I have no idea.
No idea either. But the funny thing about this page, and I didn't really realize it till I looked closer, and I'm glad you zoomed in on where you did. So you can see that panel where Nightcrawler is kind of right on top of Wolverine in the top right corner right there. Okay, so if you look very closely at Nightcrawler's crotch, you will see a very faint silhouette of a penis.
What?
So I think Alvaro is a funny guy, and he plants penises in his work, which I think is hilarious.
Have you? I mean, I assume you haven't gotten the chance to actually pick his brain about this theory that you have yet.
I have not, and I am dying to ask him if that is like a thing he does. And I don't. And I'm going to assume that this has not been passed on to a bunch of people because I bought this. It was a run from Splash Page. So I'm assuming he bought out all of a collection, and it hasn't been passed to other people. So it's not like someone bought it and drew it in and sold it. I'm assuming I'm only probably maybe the second owner of this page.
Okay.
So either he has a sense of humor or someone was able to slip in a penis. And I don't know how many times I can say penis before your videos.
I think our penis quota is up. So
okay.
Next piece.
On. Yes. Okay. So I want to give some hope to some new people into this hobby. Don't feel discouraged if you will not be able to find good deals or bargains, because you definitely still can, even from sellers or websites who have super expensive pages. There will be diamonds in the rough, because this is definitely one of them. I just really liked this weird Deadpool page because I remember it's a secret variant cover by Scott Koblish, one of my other.
I was going to say, is this Scott Koblish? Because I brought a Scott Koblish page that has very similar kind of vibe to it later.
I can't wait to see your page. Love his work. But anyway, I was able to get this at a good deal, and I would say on average this is a cover. This is an art page that was used for a cover, and usually covers on average are like $1,000, right? They just start at $1,000. Like almost automatically, if it's a cover of a comic book.
For big two stuff, like it's hard to find anything below.
Agreed. But I definitely did not pay that much for this, and so do not feel like you can't. If you know what you're looking for, like the person I bought this from did not know that this was a cover. I will say that much.
Right, because you see the unique kind of panel framework on it. You assume it's just the interior page only and nothing else.
Exactly. So yeah, knowledge is power. I will say that. If you know what you're looking for, you'll be fine.
All right, number 10.
Yep. So another Scott Koblish. This one you buy because it's just Deadpool versus Cable, and I'm getting like some awesome anime, Dragon Ball Z, Marvel versus Capcom vibes from this. You got the big guns, the big lasers, the finishing.
I love Deadpool. I love Deadpool in the middle of that. Almost penis-looking gun thing.
I love it. I love it. I didn't really. Yeah, you're right. It is a giant penis.
Your obsession is creeping through here a little.
I'm noticing new things about my own collection. But no, yeah, just really enjoyed this page. I love like that last panel where Cable's like tossing the gun and his eyes shining, just walking away. Man, what a badass. Yeah.
All right. Let me scroll down here. Let me find it. Yep. There it is.
Okay. So another really cool page. You got Spidey fighting a Sentinel. That's pretty rare, I would say.
That's cool. No, that's cool. I like the movement too.
I do too. So this is the penciled by Joe Quinones and then inked by Joe Rivera. So again, I'm a fan of the Riveras, obviously, and this is from Howard the Duck. Like this page has no Howard the Duck in it, but it had Spider-Man. I was like, I have to get it. And something's a little off because like Spidey's design is a little different, especially around his legs. Like, it's not a straight cut on his calf. It kind of rides up a little bit. So this isn't like the normal 616 universe Spidey. This is like a variation of him, like a variant, if you will. But anyway, just really cool Spidey action, dodging a Sentinel beam and getting some web in his face. I love it.
Word. We did have a question. I mean, I don't want to spend too much time on this topic because there are literally other shows that have taken 2 hours on YouTube to talk about this.
Yeah.
Including that show about nothing on Ruben's channel that I was on the other day, which ended up being about nothing and blue lines for like 30 minutes. So my personal take is that you have to decide for yourself what your own personal take is, and then decide what you're comfortable with. I don't think it makes sense for any collector to say to the rest of the collecting universe, don't do this, don't do that, do it this way. Like, that's just the way I feel. Like, I have certain blue line pages that I'm comfortable with because of the approach of it all being one artist doing the whole process, you know, the digital pencils and then the actual inks on the board. And then I have, you know, just a very few handful of just straight up blue line pages where it was only the inker's work and it was a different penciler or whatever. I don't tend to go after that kind of stuff, but every once in a while, if it's the price is right, I might cave on that or whatever. I don't know what your personal take is, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. You know, I used to be like, oh, I only want the page with the original pencils and then the inks on one page. That's it. Right. It's either that or nothing. But
you used to be strict on yourself to just only stick to that.
Exactly. I'm like, it's that or nothing. Everything else is not as good. Everything's garbage. But honestly, like, you're gonna come to a page or an artist that only works a certain way. And if you like the work, you know, that's all they make. You're gonna get that, right? Like,
Jeff makes a good point. Like, he says blue lines make him happy as long as he knows what it is up front. It's transparency, I think, is the biggest sort of part of the equation that's, I think, important. So
agreed.
But yeah, let's move on. What was that, number 11? We just went over this one, so this is the next one. There you go.
Yeah.
This crazy one right here.
Oh man, this is again. You know, you find this. I never heard of this artist. His name is Alan Quab, but you know
I know Alan's work. Yeah, I know Alan's work.
Yeah. So you know, you've seen his work. I've seen his work. Didn't know who it was, but when I saw this, I actually saw this page first before I actually saw the actual cover, and I already knew I liked it. And I'm a sucker for like a page with just jam packed full of characters, right? And like this one, like has almost every single popular villain.
This is one of the biggest ensemble kind of covers that I would
agree. I've never seen anything this detailed too, like just with pencil. Like, it's just so fun. And I was like, you know, I spent like an hour going around being like, okay, there's Mystique, that's my girl. You know, there's Mr. Sinister, there's a Skrull, and then I was like, where's Doctor Doom? He's in there somewhere. Where's Magneto? Like,
it feels very Jeff Darrow inspired. Style.
Yep. I would agree. Yeah. But this was a really cool. It's actually, I think it's one of 3 covers for Marvel's run that Alex Ross has been doing. So, sorry, I live in a very popular city.
No worries. Welcome, Sirens. I'm in Brooklyn. There's plenty of Sirens.
Shout out to Oakland on the West Coast. But anyway,
dude, congrats on that. That one's pretty badass.
Honestly. Thank you. Cool. Yeah, and both are playing. Cool. I love it.
I debated going to find the published image and putting all 3 on the same slide to kind of give the final look, but I ran out of time. So
we'll do another show with
what's up?
We'll do another show with the covers. Yeah.
There you go. All right. This is your next one.
Next one. So again, this is one of those pages where you're like, you have like the big original 3. You know, you got Captain America, you got Submariner, you got Human Torch. Yeah, Human Torch. You know, it's very rare to find the 3 of the Invader trio, you know, on the same page, just, you know, going at it at each other. And yeah, I was just like, this is the oldest art page I own. This is from 1975.
What book is it from?
Invaders number 3.
Okay.
So nice. Penciled by Frank Robbins and inked by Vince Coletta. Names you've probably heard of.
Yep.
And this is the only page I have by those 2 guys, and the only page I have from this run. I don't think I would be able to afford any more pages, but I knew I wanted to have at least one from the original 3.
That's a great run. That was a comic run that I was like at one point thinking that I would put the whole run together. I think I might have like 90% of the run in some short box somewhere.
Yeah.
That I haven't, had time to like even remember where how many of the run I have, but
yeah,
I love that run, and that was the run with where Alex Schomburg came back to do the cover of #1, right? Yeah, that run.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's see here. See, I got comments coming in late about like previous pieces, so I will share them. But Sleepy Reader's asking, well, who was the artist on that cover crowded with characters? That was Alan Kloss. It looks like Marcus was answering him. What's up, Unruly Simeon in the house? Welcome to the party. All right, number that was 13, right? This is 14.
Yes. All right, so we'll take a little break from published art pages, and this is a commission
sketch
I had
cover?
done. Yes, this is a sketch cover by an artist named Sean Anderson, aka Skyscraper84 on Instagram. I actually found this guy because I got into like sketch card art, and so this guy he does sketch card art, and I was like, you know what, I really like your style. I'd like to kind of see it on a bigger canvas, right? Because cards are like 2x3, right? But you want to see it like on at least a comic book size. And I basically said, all right, I love your painterly style. I want Jubilee taken on a Sentinel. That's literally all like 90s Jubilee taken on a Sentinel. That's all I gave him. And then he came back with this, and I was like, dude, you are amazing.
Well, I love 90s Jubilee and I love Sentinels, so it's a cool cover. And the skate, I like the details on the skateboard and everything.
He's great. Highly recommended if you want a commission done from him. Great guy to work with, and an even better artist. So I love this page.
Awesome. All right, number 15.
Yes. So this is my very first Alex Saviuk page, famous Spider-Man artist. And again,
and Spider-Man,
and featuring Chameleon. And it's very hard to find a shapeshifter character actually shape-shifting on a page.
Sure.
And so when I saw this, I actually don't even remember how I found this collector, but he's also a fellow Saviuk fan, and he was just like, I want to like pass this on to someone who's actually a fan too. And it's like, you know what, I'm looking for my first one, and so we just worked it out. And yeah, this page, he basically gave me a deal on this, and I'm not going to pass it up. But anyway, just having the Chameleon shift to different like classic movie, you got like John Wayne, you got Humphrey Bogart. Like it's just so cool to see him shifting into these as he's like monologuing. It's so funny. As
a hardcore shapeshifter fan, this is like an ideal page.
Oh my god, it's so great. Awesome. And Alex Saviuk pages are like ridiculous right now, so I'm just so happy to have gotten this.
Yeah, I regret not pulling the trigger on some of his Spider-Man work years ago, because like I think the last time I was at a convention flipping through his book of whatever he was offering, I was like, man, I feel like I was having deja vu, but like the prices are double from the last time.
Oh my gosh, he's on my bucket list of artists to meet. He's I think local to California too, so I probably bumped into him and just didn't even know who he was. So
possibly. All right, number 16.
Yes. All right, so this is my my Sinister Six page, right? Everyone wants to get that one page where Spidey's fighting the Sinister Six. This is as close as I can get. You have Spider-Gwen taking on at least four of some of the most famous Spider-Man rogues gallery here.
I love that Rhino. Yeah, I love that Rhino.
Oh man, and
the Goblin too. Awesome.
The artist is Perez. One of my
Perry Perez. Okay.
Yeah. Yes, that's it. Oh man, I get like dyslexic every time I'm trying to like say his name.
I don't honestly know if that's the right pronunciation, and Ruben isn't here to correct me. So.
Oh man. Yeah. Anyway, I love his work. He's like one of my favorite working artists right now. Really, I love the way he like shows action on a page. It's so cool. But yeah, I mean, and this is actually from a really cool story where Arcade lures Spider-Gwen into a murder world, which was designed for Spider-Man. So she's fighting all of his villains. So just really great. If you want to go read it, it's Ghost Spider Annual #1. Really great one-page story, or one
issue.
Yes,
right.
Yes.
Oh, right. A one-shot, basically.
Yes,
an annual.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right. That's a great one. Number 17. This one's cool too.
Yes. So I did promise.
I didn't know what to zoom in on.
I think you knew exactly what to zoom on.
Yeah.
I mean, and how could you not? There's really not much that you can't avoid. But anyway,
Yeah.
this again, I love Mystique, and she had a run, a 5 book run on Wolverine, where he's basically trying to hunt her down, and this is a cover to a Wolverine 64. And man, I don't have a lot of Ron Garney pages, but if there was one to own, it would be this one. I love this. This is used for a cover. I love it so much. And it always helps. And it's what's interesting is that this was the only version of this that exists. This is a penciled page. It was never inked.
Yeah, I have two. I have two penciled only pages by Ron from his Wolverine Weapon X run, and they were inked and colored digitally. So
yes. So like, if for people who are asking, like, oh, do you prefer pencils or inks? Like, honestly, like, if this is the only version that exists, like, that's the one you're gonna own, right? If you really love the work and you really love the character, and I am okay. I don't have a lot of penciled only pages, but this is definitely one of my favorites. So
no, it's a great Garney. So congrats on that one. All right, 18.
Yes. So another one of my favorite artists working today.
Love the blacks here. Love the dark.
Man, it's so good. Carlos Magno. Oh man, this page, of like all the Avengers suiting up. Like, oh, I love it. It reminds me of like those old trading cards where like it would show, like Spider-Man explaining his web shooters. Like so much nostalgia, and like you can tell really quick who everyone is. The only one that's kind of iffy is the guy holding the tablet, because in the actual published page they put like the words gamma radiation, so it's Bruce Banner. But otherwise, like it's just a really cool page. You don't need any words. You just know.
It's just a little like a close-up look at something, but enough of an identifier that you know exactly what that is as a comic fan or as a Marvel Comics fan.
Yep.
All right. Very cool page, man. Moving on to number 19. More Spider-Man.
Yes. So again, this is actually from the same. I think it was a 5-story run again from Carlos Magno. This is actually from the Avengers Mech Strike. This is. I feel like this 5-issue story arc was just designed so that they could put the Avengers in giant mech robot suits, which is hilarious. Why would the Hulk have to get into a mech suit? Doesn't make sense, but it looks awesome. Anyway, this is where Black Widow and Spidey are having a little private conversation, and she's basically explaining that the way assassins work is that you trick your prey in going to one direction, and then you're really going to get him in another direction. So you can see that she pulls a knife on him in one hand and then has another knife in another, and Spidey's like, whoa. Anyway, I just really like this page because it's like you never see these two interact like this,
right?
And so like it's kind of funny and kind of like they're kind of flirting. So I really dig it.
Yeah, when the first thing I thought like came to my head when I saw this page, just the scan without the context, is like, have I read this comic? Like, I should probably read this comic, whatever it is.
It's so ridiculous. Yeah, it is so ridiculous, but it's so good.
Nice. All right. Well, that was number 19. I'm going to say a quick hello to some people who have just joined us. We had Super Russ 9000. What's up, Super Russ? We had Jay Salsa 23 in the house, and then we also had Master and Madam Blaster Comics.
Oh, what's up?
Welcome. So we're going to show a couple more of yours, then we'll switch to me real quick, and then we'll finish off with the rest of yours. So that was number 19. This is number 20.
Oh, man. All right. So I'm obviously a Carlos Magno fan because this is the third one in a row, but I just couldn't believe that he still had this page available. I'm going to say that this is the first appearance of the Silver Submariner. Essentially, the Silver Surfer's board finds Namor in space and then makes him the Herald all of a sudden. And it's just like really cool to see Namor on the board in space. Oh, man. So cool. And this was actually used as the cover for the second printing of Namor: The Best Defense #1. So this thing looks so awesome in person. Like I love
Yeah, it's very cosmic, but it's Namor too at the same time. It's,
well,
that's cool.
Yeah, well, you're not sure, like just looking at this page. You don't know if he's
or it
underwater.
feels cosmic. Yeah, it feels
yes.
cosmic. It could be underwater.
Exactly.
It could be a Silver Surfer homage. I'm not sure. I didn't read the story, so I don't know. But it's a great piece of art.
Yeah, I love this page. I love it.
All right. Let's do 2 more, and then we'll switch to me real quick.
Sounds good. All right. So this is a page by Scott Collins. I just discovered this guy recently. I mean, by discover, I mean like he's been around for years. I just like finally found some of his work. But who doesn't want to have a Spider-Man origin page? In any
shape or form.
Exactly.
Origin, so many of the origin retold in Spidey books that they're always a great target for
totally. Well, it's also even harder to find it in one page, right? Usually it's told across like two pages at least, because there's just so much history to cover. But it was just, I saw this and I was like, you know what? It's very cool. It's very 90s. I gotta get it. I mean, who doesn't want the origin of Spider-Man? Who doesn't?
I'm a sucker for that circular spider logo.
Yeah, it's so weird, huh? Like I love it.
Isn't it amazing? I love that logo.
I'm just like, at first, when you look at it, you're like, what is like? It just looks cool. It just looks very cool.
Yeah, it's cool. All right, number 22.
All right, so I always told myself I don't need a Rob Liefeld page. I don't need it. I don't need it. And then you see one, you're like, I gotta have it. And there's no feet in this, but it's unquestionably Rob Liefeld, just by the mouth, right? Like you can tell it's him. And who doesn't want some Sentinel blasting action? Love Cannonball here, just going through a Sentinel. I love it so much. This is actually my first Rob Liefeld page. I think I only have 3 total, but man, this page.
I don't have any personally. I mean, I'd love to get one that makes sense for what I collect too.
Exactly. But, no, and I like Deadpool and stuff, but I'm not like a huge
I like Deadpool too.
And so, but like not enough to be like I got to get a Rob Liefeld Deadpool page. I never started in this hobby being like I'm gonna get a Rob Liefeld 90s Deadpool page. That's first off, I'm never going to be able to afford it, and second, like they're all gone. They're in collections that are locked up. But anyway, I was like, I got it, and this is a issue. It's a page from Cable, and so like, okay, it makes sense to get this and just enjoy having one of his pages. So I'm super happy.
Word. What's up? Carlito Classico is in the house. What's up? Good to see you, Carlito. All right, so we just looked at 22 that was like one of the best, most efficient examples of showing 22 pieces of art in a row. You still have 13 more pieces to share, but real quickly, we're going to switch over to the Comic Books NYC share for today's episode. And like I said, I wanted to focus, I think, mainly on just a few examples of pieces that I haven't shown before, that I've had for a while, pretty much, but I haven't shown them on this show before, and that fit, sort of similarities to what you decided to share because you're a big Spider-Man guy, a big X-Men guy. So I picked out 1 Spider-Man related page and 2 X-Men related pages to share. This one is from the great Stuart Immonen from his Amazing Spider-Man runs, from Amazing Spider-Man issue 790. And as you can see there in the top panel, you have New York City vibes with the Empire State Building, and that's New York City vibes and skyline stuff is kind of like a sub theme that I collect, but also like I'm a Spider-Man fan as well. So this is the Baxter Building, as you can see right there on display front and center, and then you have Peter Parker and Johnny Storm having a conversation, doing a little bonding up on the roof of the Baxter Building, looking at the sunset together. A little romantic moment between Peter Parker and Johnny Storm. So, big spoon in the house between Iranga and Jeff Wedding. What's up, Iranga? And Biggie's telling me to kick your butt. Like, this is the hunt. This is not a competition show, Biggie, but I appreciate the sentiment. But yeah, this is just a pretty cool interior panel page from ASM. for both my NYC and my Spider-Man collecting. So
I will say I love pages where Spidey kind of lifts his mask halfway, and
I love that too. I love that too.
It's very cool, very cool. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm happy to have that one. Really dig that one. What's up, Arsenio in the house? Another New Yorker. Welcome, the art chemist. But yeah, I love that page. And then these are the two X-Men related ones. This is, I mentioned Koblish earlier.
Oh yeah.
So this is kind of like a trippy page with Cyclops and Kitty, like Kitty's like in dire straits here, and Cyclops trying to rescue her. Yeah, there's a lot going on here. It's kind of, you got to kind of focus in and really look at it. But in person, it's even more of an impressive, kind of cool page to look at and stare at and get lost in a little bit.
Oh, man, this is great.
But yeah, pretty badass one right there. Yeah, I knew Unruly would appreciate that last one, Spider-Man at the Baxter Building. He's a big FF guy. But yeah, I love this page. It did not hurt the wallet whatsoever. I think this is. I think I won it a couple years ago on Heritage Auctions. That it was just an underappreciated, under the radar kind of page, and I think
lucky.
I think I got this for like $140, $150, something like that. Something in that range. So I was happy to snag that for that price. For sure. And this is a lot of cool stuff going on in this page. So. Happy to have added that one and finally sharing it on the OA Hour. And last but not least, this is a page from X-Men Legacy. The artist is Jorge Molina. I chose Storm as being part of my side of the thumbnail. So I was like, you know what? I should probably bring something Storm to the table. Mm-hmm. And obviously there's more than just Storm on this page. You've got multiple X-Men characters, including Wolverine and Beast and all that. But the Storm is what got me on this page. I really, in particular, like his depiction of Storm, his character design for Storm in this series, and that top half splash, if you will, is pretty epic. With the background details and all that. I really dig this one. So
great detail.
Yep, lots of detail. Yeah, thank you guys in the chat. Yeah, I guess you could call it a 2/3 splash or something maybe. Yeah, Molina's great, man. His X-Men Blue stuff, I want to say. I don't know, maybe it was red, but I think it was actually blue. X-Men Blue stuff and X-Men Legacy stuff. Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate the compliments on the art. But we're gonna get back to my friend Asian Comics, not Asian Comics, Asian Funk Comics. No penises tonight in my shares. Stay to the end. Yeah, stick around. Yeah, I would say Funk wins with his 35 pieces to my 3 tonight, but it's his show. This is not a competition show. So let's go back to where we were. We looked at this one, right? The Liefeld. Mm-hmm. And now we're going to take a look at this one.
Oh, man. So this is, I think, another one of those pages that I would save in a fire. This is the only page I own from Volume 1 of the X-Men run. This is from X-Men 160. Story by Chris Claremont.
That's awesome. Look at that panel on the right.
It is so awesome and so creepy. And this is I got this page and I was like, I got to know what the story is, right? And essentially, this guy named Belasco is a demon. He's trying to lure Ileana, who's still a teenage girl, into the dark side, basically. And then, has to also lure the X-Men in there. And basically, Kitty is in this alternate dimension where there's an evil Nightcrawler, but she doesn't know it yet. And man, the things they got away with, and when they wrote this, is crazy because Nightcrawler is a creep on this page. Yeah. I had to read this 7 times to be like, is he really doing something? Is he really doing what I think he's doing? But yeah, anyway, this is I think my creepiest page. But it is. The story of this is insane. You've got Colossus. I'm going to spoil a bunch of stuff. Colossus being stabbed by Wolverine's claw. Storm having metal skin and then claws herself. I'm not going to explain how that happens, but it is a bonkers story. It's just one issue. X-Men 160. You should go read it. It's amazing.
Awesome. I think I have read this one at some point back in my childhood at some point. But
yeah. Oh man, it's so good.
Yeah. We had C. Woodard in the house, another Original Art Hour alumni member. Welcome, brother. Good to see you. Let's move on to your 24th piece. And I see this awesome Jubilee down here at the bottom.
Oh, man. Yeah. So I gotta support my girl Jubilee. This is a cover page by Billy Tan, another Northern California artist. This is the art page for X-Men Legends #7. Could not believe that he still had this. I reached out to him directly. I was like, "Hey, do you have any covers?" And he's like, "I got a couple." And he showed me one of these. I'm like, "I can't believe you still have this one." Anyway, nothing screams more 90s than Wolverine and Jubilee fighting ninjas. And you got Lady Deathstrike right there. Oh man, this is like a dream come true page to own. So just super, super happy to own it.
No, I love it, man. It's great. And there's so much more up at the top that I wasn't able to zoom in on on that right hand close up. But yeah, definitely an X-Men or X-Men and Spider-Man. I think between the two of us is what we focused on.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious.
But yeah, definitely White Whale would love all the Jubilee stuff being shown today. All right, let's move on. This is your 25th.
All right, so I guess I like creepy pages, so we have a page from Marvel Universe versus Avengers. Long story short, there is a virus going around the world where it's turning everyone into carnivores. So Hawkeye is one of the last surviving Avengers to not be infected. And so now you have here Dr. Doom about to eat a Mystique who has been tied up. And you can see at the bottom left there, that is Deadpool, who helped kidnap her. So very interesting story. I love Leandro Fernandez's art during this run. But yeah, I was like, this page is just so weird that
there's a good amount of bondage going on here.
I would say a little bit. It's
just a little bondage.
And it's of Mystique, right? Like, you can't tell from this page, but in the final version, her skin's blue and her hair's red. So who else is that? It's Mystique. So had to have it. And someone pointed out, like, hey, but there's no skull on Mystique's head. I'm like, yeah, but there's a skull in the bottom right. So I'm just going to say by association, I'm going to say that it's good enough. So anyway, yeah, just really love this creepy page.
I think I concur with Unruly's extremely weird. Great, though. Yeah. Very cool. All right, number 26.
Okay, so again, another a couple of Mystique pages here. So this is a consecutive pages, 19 and 20 from Mystique. That's the name of the title of this book. Artist is Manuel Garcia. Again, one of my favorite working artists today. These two panels are so funny. So Phantom X, who I didn't even really care about, he sent Mystique on a mission to go get something very valuable for him. And it turns out that it's Spider-Man's costume. It's hilarious that he's a fan of Spider-Man. And then if you read the book, Mystique's like, I can't believe you made me do this. Like, you fanboy. Oh, man, so good. Anyway, these two pages alone made me a fan of Phantom X. I can't
believe how many X-Men pages you have that have Spider-Man's costume on it.
Right?
Something.
It's weird.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. I didn't really pick up on that until this show. But yeah, it's just so. Yeah. It's again part of the whole meta thing, right? Like when characters are a fan of other characters, it's just hilarious. So yeah, I had to get the 2-page collection for this, and these are from different collectors that I bought these pages from. So
you reunited them from 2 different sources.
I had to do it. It was my responsibility as a fan to do it. So
word. All right, number 27.
All right, so we're gonna take a break from Marvel here. This is actually one of only 2 Street Fighter pages I have. And
Street Fighter. Okay, that's what
Street Fighter. That's right. So this is actually the origin page of Cammy. Where she discovers that she's a clone of M. Bison. And I promised butts, so you get some butts here. But yeah, this is by Alvin Lee, a famous udon artist. You've seen his work. It's amazing. Again, this is one of my few only penciled pages. But, it's just like, I really love this 2/3 splash. It's very Terminator-y, very sci-fi Matrix. Just love it.
Yeah, it definitely gave me like a sci-fi, almost Mobius-y kind of vibe to it or something like that. I didn't know it was Street Fighter just from looking at it right away, but it's very cool.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, number 28.
Oh man, so I love pages where there's a ton of characters on there. So this is really funny because an evil Mr. Fantastic has basically invited the entire Marvel universe to a meeting at the Baxter Building in hopes of blowing them all up. It's such a '90s tactic. But anyway, Sue discovers that he is a fake, and he's like too late, and he preps a bomb to blow up. And I just love that last panel where everyone is looking at the bomb. It is so funny.
Yeah, like, that panel's like,
oh man, it is so good.
Run. Yeah,
it is really so good. Like any one of those guys could easily take care of that bomb. Like the Hulk could just jump in front of it. Strong Guy could throw it. Cyclops could blow it to his. Like there's so many things you could do, but everyone is just so freaked out. It's hilarious.
I think I counted like 16 characters or something like that.
I think you're right.
Something like that. I'm not. Yep. I don't know if that was right, but it's close.
Yeah. But no, it's just so. I just love this page. So got it off of a Facebook group from Ray Chrising, who's the inker. So check it out. Yeah.
Nice. Well, that's a keeper. Speaking of butts,
oh man.
I think this might be one of the more notorious pieces in your collection, but why don't you explain it?
Yeah, so I started collecting Marvel cards when I was young, and how could I not talk about the '92 Marvel Masterpiece trading card set by Joe Jusko?
Yeah.
I came into the original art game pretty late, 20 years late by the time this was made. So very lucky to have gotten this from a Instagram guy by the name of Elusive Collectibles. Shout out to him. I had shown interest in this. I said, "Hey, cool page. Dibs on it if you ever sell it." Wink, because why would you ever sell it?
Sure.
And he reached out to me, like months later, and was like, "Hey, you still interested in this page?" And I was like, "Are you gonna let it go?" And he said yes. And I was like, "Yeah, let's do this." So
I mean, I got to say, as a relatively, I'll put the slide back up and say, as a relatively newer collector, kudos, because that's honestly one of the best ways that you can sort of, in a respectful way, plant the seeds that you're interested in a piece. You're not yelling at this person like, "I demand you sell it right now." You're complimenting them on it, and you're expressing legitimate interest that you would be a buyer down the line if they so choose, and people remember that. So
yeah. And I'm sure that he's gotten lots of requests for it, and me thinking like, there's no way he's gonna pick me out of everyone, but for whatever reason he thought I was worthy of taking it home. So I did, and it is staying with me for as long as I can keep it. But yeah, this is a prelim sketch that never made it to publish because Marvel said, "Hey, we need to see Spider-Man's face," and so they just flipped Spider-Man, and that's
not his ass.
Not his ass. That's for me.
It's got a good home. So here we go, number 30.
Yes. So I didn't realize that you could also buy the original art used for trading cards, and so this is from the 1995 Flair Ultra X-Men trading card set. This artist, Luis Royo, he did a set of cards where it's just the X-Men on a beach kicking it, and I cannot even begin to explain how I even found this gallery that sold his art, because he's actually from Spain, and so I was like, "Hey, do you still have this?" And he's like, "I don't have this, but I have these." And I was like, "Oh my god, I will take them." And it could have been a scam, it could have been a fake, but it was real, and it is amazing to have. Iceman is, I think, I would say, in my top 10 favorite characters. The first 9 are shapeshifters, and then it's Iceman. And just the idea of like a buff Iceman on a beach, it's in I don't know, 90s. It's awesome.
It's cool, and and because you are a card guy, or that's in your background, it's nice that you got a final card.
Exactly. It's hard to get the final version that is used instead of just like a pencil sketch or a prelim. This is the final that was used for the card. So
I also maybe thought it might have been Colossus at first when I looked at it too.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
that's a good one. Yeah,
I was like, okay, but
yeah, I think also because of the face, right? The head looks like Colossus.
Yeah, but when I saw the location being the beach and then like the melting going on, I was like, oh, okay, it's Iceman.
That's a good thought though. Yeah, Colossus would have been.
So, all right, we only have a few pieces left, so we're at number 31. Another
All right,
Wolverine.
so yes, so again, when I discovered you could buy sketches used for trading cards, I was like, great. And so this artist, Derek Robertson, on Twitter was like, here are some of my old sketches from the 90s. And I was like, hey, man, are you interested in selling these? And he's like, just a few. And I was like, okay, I'll take anything. And he's like, I want here's a Wolverine one. Like, isn't that one of the ones you want to keep? And he's like, not really. And I was like, I'll take it. And so now, yeah, I own the original that was used for the 1995 Marvel Flair gold blaster card of Wolverine.
So, oh yeah, dude, a Wolverine card, nice.
Yeah, very cool.
And I assume you have the actual cards for any art that you buy the card.
For,
yes.
Right? So I'm rebuying some of them because I collected these so long ago, and then it got lost somewhere. I am going to rebuy them to have them as a set.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the same way. Like, it's like I try to have the published example if I can find it. I can't always find it, which is
kind of
is what it is. Is what it is.
Yep.
But let us move. Well, Comic Head 84 has a question. What's the size of that card art? I mean, that looked like a standard full size 11 by 17 artboard to me, but I don't know.
Yeah. So sometimes it can be. This one I think was like 8 by 10. So it was kind of like
so A4. A4.
Yep. So this one in particular was an 8 by 10. But yeah, normally they go 11 by 17 for a lot of the other art pages.
This is this is essentially the card art section that we just concluded, right? And now we're moving on to something different, which we haven't shown, which I know you are a collector of, and that's animation cells. So
yes, so an even harder, more niche hobby is animation cell collecting, and there's probably one of the most easily accessible websites, Von Eaton Galleries. It's a good place to start if you're like a beginner collector in animation cells. They pretty much have a good variety of like a lot of 90s animated shows, including X-Men. And I could not believe they still had this on their site.
That's crazy that they had this. A kiss.
Insane. And this is like from one of my favorite episodes.
Or I guess it's CPR. Is it CPR?
Yes. Yep. Yeah. She is. Yeah, they are not making out. Yeah. She is trying to save his life because Cyclops.
Yeah, I said kiss at first, but I'm like, it's not really a kiss.
No, it's not. CPR. But we'll say it's a kiss. And then obviously what's going to happen next. She kisses Cyclops and then absorbs his powers and shoots
the power. Yeah.
Oh man, so good. And if anyone out there has an animation cell of her shooting out beams, please reach out to me. I will do what it takes to make it work out.
So what's up, Michael Knights of Old is in the house. Another OA Hour crew alumni. He's asking you to restate what the website was.
Yes, it is Van Eaton Galleries. So
Van Eaton Galleries.
Yep. Van VANEATON Galleries. It is a website. Yep.
There you go. All right, and then this is more of a anime.
Yep.
Animation cell.
Right. So if you grew up in the 90s, chances are you probably saw Dragon Ball Z at some point, on Toonami, and a fellow collector on Instagram by the name of Stray Flexin hooked it up.
Yaniv. Yeah, yes. Yaniv. He's been on this show. I don't know if you saw his episode. It was
I did. Yes. Yeah. Oh man, love that guy.
That was before I had like fancy technology and people were just like. He was like flipping through his portfolio, like 100 miles an hour on camera.
That guy is hilarious. I love him. He collects everything. That guy's insane.
He collects everything,
for sure. But yeah, awesome guy. He was like, I told him, hey, you know what? I just want to own one Dragon Ball Z cell, just one. I don't care what it is. And he's like, all right, what are your thoughts on this? I was like, dude, there's no way I'm going to be able to afford it. And we worked something out, and he hooked it up. And this is just like vintage, like there's no question who this is, right? Like there's only one famous green alien anime character, and it's Piccolo. And just by the way his face is a little skinnier and not so round, this is from like early days, like season 1 of Dragon Ball Z. And I just love the close-up of the eyes. It's just so magnetic, and I love it.
Nice. Yeah, I'm like what you would call a Dragon Ball Z ignorant, meaning like I don't know anything about it. Like I know
of it.
I know of it, and I know the phrase Super Saiyan, and I know the character Goku is a character. But
yes.
Those are the three things I know, and I really have no knowledge outside of that. It's just like something that just totally it went around me in my childhood, and as I've never caught up to it in adulthood. Like, but I'm trying to expose myself to more like modern animes and stuff. Like I started watching Attack on Titan, really enjoying that.
Good show.
So yeah, like I'm trying to up my anime game a little bit, but it was never really something I grew up with. So
there's no rush. There's no better time than.
But I know for a fact that in the world of animation cell collecting, Dragon Ball Z is a top tier category. Just like the original Akira ones are probably the highest level of unaffordability, and I love that movie. So but very cool that you have a Dragon Ball Z and you pried one out of our friend Yaniv.
Man, he hooked it up for sure.
For his collection. So. I've heard Demon Slayer is good too. I have not had the chance to start that one yet, but all right, this is your 34th piece. Is this so I wasn't sure if this was what this was exactly. Is it a commission, like a double commission, or?
Yes. Okay. So my boy Ash Gonzalez, he is a artist who does he does a lot of sketch covers. He likes to do celebrities, doing cool stuff, right? And I actually discovered him because I was into sketch cards. I was like, your art's pretty good. And I was like, I want you to do something for me. And I gave him the idea of like, who'd been really cool to play Morph in a movie is young Jim Carrey. If there's one guy who can try and be multiple characters, it's him. And he was like, bro, let me do this one for you. And I actually only asked him to do a sketch on a front cover, right? But I gave him a blank that was blank on both sides. When he sent this back to me, he had done a wraparound. So you're seeing the front cover. It's a X-Men 92 blank cover. And then the one on the right is the back cover. So he did regular Morph and then evil Morph. And I was like, dude, I don't know how you did this, but it looks so awesome. And it is incredible. I don't know how he did it, but it's just so awesome.
How he blends all the different elements together is pretty interesting. I didn't realize how much young Jim Carrey looked like current Jared Leto. Like
that's weird.
Isn't that weird? Because they have very similar faces. Like,
you're right, huh? You're right.
Yeah.
Especially, huh? Like if Jared Leto cut his hair super short, right?
Short, didn't have the beard.
Exactly. Yeah, that's so weird.
Because it looks like kind of like Jared Leto in his early 30 Seconds to Mars.
That's so funny. Maybe Jared Leto should be Morph. That's weird. Huh. Didn't really think about that.
But yeah, very cool. Fan of both Jim Carrey and Jared Leto. So All right. Last but not least, we got your 35th art share for the show. Yep. And explain this one. This is from Stan Lee's The Flash.
Yeah. Okay. So in 2002, DC had Stan Lee do a series of books where he reimagined classic DC characters, but like with his own spin to it. So he created a whole new character who then became like a Superman or a Batman or a Flash. And so I was like, I don't own any this is the first appearance of this particular character that Stan Lee and
which Stan created in this Elseworld scenario for DC.
Yes, exactly. Well said. Elseworld. And I was like, I don't have any Adam Hughes art either.
Neither do I, my friend. So I'm kind of jelly here because the Adam Hughes market has not slowed down. So
no, and it's so crazy. And it's like, okay, so it's an Adam Hughes piece. It's a Stan Lee co-created character, first appearance. It's a cover, and I don't have a lot of DC pages. Like if you looked in the last 30 pages I've shown, almost none of them are DC, right? It's all Marvel.
This is DC, but it's Stan Lee, because you're a big Stan fan.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So, shout out to Tony Marin, who I got this from. Comics Inc. King, I believe, is his website. So he hooked it up and we made it work. And I'm just super excited to have this. And it's very, very simple. But this is actually the back cover to this book,
right,
to this one shot of this character. So yeah, really excited to own it.
No, it's cool. Like it's got, I like the line work. It's, it has that signature Adam Hughes, like bold outline feel to the main character and the curves, even though her arm's kind of in the way of some of the curves.
A little bit.
But you could tell the facial work, even with the mask on, that it's Adam Hughes.
I would agree with that.
All the way. So very, very cool piece, man. Well, that was, I got to say that, 1 hour, 10 minutes or so, we just showed and talked about 38 pieces of original art here. I think I might be a record for a permit just hit here. So very efficient job, my friend. Thank you for coming on here and sharing all the artwork with everybody. Thank you guys in the chat for hanging out live. If you're watching this on the rewind, like I said, please go subscribe to the YouTube channel, link below, Instagram description below. My channel, hit the thumbs up, do all the things that you should do to support this show so that maybe we can do some more episodes. Looks like my connection's going in and out again. God damn you, internet. What do you want to say here to wrap things up? I had a blast hanging out with you, man. Can't wait to get you in the group chat that we have so you can hang out with everybody and share stuff in there, engage. So just thank you again for coming on. And why don't you wrap it up?
Oh, no, thank you for having me. Super, I was honored to be here, to be able to just talk about art. Again, you're one of my big inspirations. And yeah, man, thank you for having me. Can't wait to be back again to talk about more art. So
awesome. Well, you will be added to all the future invites for the group show, where we get a bunch of people on occasionally to just catch up and share pieces with each other. So you'll have an open invite to any of those episodes moving forward. And then of course, we'll add you to the chat, and you can be as active, obnoxious, or silent as you would like. So thank you guys. Thank you guys for hanging out again. Like I said, make sure you go subscribe to Aznfunk Comics if you're not already, and we'll catch you on the next episode. And for those that like it, here will be treated to an outro. Peace. Where do I begin? I see the hate, they don't want to see me win. Think the prices, I got more coming in. Top down, throw the money in a win. I don't want it all. Heard he scammer, had to switch up the accounts. Moving paper, gotta call it my account. It's all in, I can have it coming out. Been through the struggle, I can see another drought. Yeah, it's not a purse, it's a merce. 6 figures was a goal, now it's 9 or a hearse. Put it work. Used to pull up, not swerve. No time for the snakes, time to put them in the dirt. That's word. I gotta get it, it's in my DNA. You only see the highlights, don't know what it takes. Last year stressing, got no sleep. Now I'm right between the courts, I don't know bleed.